Okay, I think I'm streaming here. So the first thing we're going to do is, in order to learn how to trade options, you need to have a Thinkorswim account to chart your options and to do it properly. So you have what is called paper money practice account. So once you set up your trading account that has Thinkorswim, in my case is Charles Schwab. So I'm using Charles Schwab, formerly TD Ameritrade, which switched over to Charles Schwab. Charles Schwab has this, Thinkorswim. That is the best trading platform for options. Okay? And then you use your login ID. You do not go over here to live trading. You're going to choose paper trading. Continue. Put in your password. Log in. It's going to ask me for a code. I have to look up the security code on my phone. Okay, this is a time not to rush. All right. Because learning stuff is not about rushing. Okay? Because when you rush and you're trying to rush because you want to make money, guess what? You lose. Okay. So now, taking a while to log in here. It's got to log in all the stuff. And you're going to see how rich I am. So, here we are. Now we can chart the market and place practice trades to prepare ourselves to, in fact, make money. How you doing, everyone? I'm Neil Russell. And it looks like on your screen you will see this junk here if you have like a similar setup as mine. So this will all be very similar to a live account, but this happens to be a practice account, as it says right up here, simulated trading. So you need to, in order to practice trading options, you need to do this, simulated trading. You have to set up a Charles Schwab account or something similar. You need to Google, look up, and search the internet for a Thinkorswim broker. All right? Just put in Thinkorswim broker. And I use Charles Schwab. That's who I recommend. I used to be with TD Ameritrade, and my account merged over to Charles Schwab. And Charles Schwab, in my opinion, was is better than TD Ameritrade was. Okay, just from my personal experience, I noticed once I became a member of Charles Schwab, I was immediately treated better, and the account just seemed to function a little better. Okay, so I don't know why that is. I guess Charles Schwab was bigger than TD Ameritrade. Not that TD Ameritrade treated me badly, but Charles Schwab is higher class, I guess, treats us better. Anyways, so you want to go over to Simulated Trading, log in, set up your account, and you're going to see your options buying power. So this is a simulated account. That's the fake money that I put in. Stock buying power, okay. Net liquidity, forex buying power, okay. Cash sweep vehicle. So this is the money I could just take out of my account and go sail to another country and have a good time. So now if you have a trade that's open, you can click monitor, and you have activity and positions right here. So from monitor, you click monitor activity and positions. Okay, so monitor also, so if you chose here monitor, you have a sub window here, and activity and positions, so there's no activity in positions. Then you have account statement, and that shows your account statement, and it shows profits and losses. I think I lost some money just messing around, and it says symbol. Okay, so I traded the SPY, and you notice right there it says SPDR S&P 500 ETF. That is what the SPY is. It is an ETF of the S&P 500. So what is the S&P 500? What is the S&P 500? Shall we look it up? S&P 500 into search. And you're going to see that it's the Standard & Poor's 500, or simply S&P, is a stock market index, stock performance of the largest companies listed in the stock exchange. In order to avoid copyright, I want to see what Wikipedia says, because Wikipedia does not have copyright. So the S&P is the Standard & Poor's 500, or simply S&P, a stock market index. So we're not trading a stock market index. We're trading an ETF. Okay? So let's look up ETF Wikipedia. I know it's all very basic, but some people think they know, but they don't really know. We should always understand all the basics, so we understand every aspect of what we are doing. Whether you are successful or not successful does not matter. What matters is that, well, being successful does matter, but it also is good. It is good to know the details of what you are doing for, to stay ahead of things and just to fully understand what you are doing. So an ETF is exchange traded fund. That's what it stands for. It's an investment fund. It is traded on stock exchanges. ETFs own financial assets such as stocks, bonds, currency, steps, futures contracts, and commodities. Many ETFs provide some diversification compared to owning an individual stock. Okay, we're going to dive deep into this, okay, because that is what trading is about. And we're also not going to be in a big rush. And I'm going to stay live stream. And I'm just going to leave the live stream run. And I'm going to take a drink. I am going to take a drink of some tea. So hold on. I'm also quite pleased to notice that I have some coffee. And I'm probably going to have some coffee as well. I'm a very spoiled person. That must live right. Because everyone should live right, and we all deserve nothing but the best. But if you don't deserve the best, then you get what other people pick for you. So you have to demand the best. So what is an ETF traded fund? What is an ETF traded fund? Right? So we want to know what the SPY is. So we're going to just go ahead and look this over some more. Then we're going to work our way over to understanding what the SPY is. Because why would we trade something without knowing what it is? So let's see. SPY ETF Wikipedia. Let's see if Wikipedia tells us what the SPY is. Maybe it won't. SP. So is this what we're talking? Okay, here we are. Here we are. Right here, SPY. NYSE. All right. So this is very much interesting. Hold on, let me have a drink. Let's just relax. This is a trading club, by the way. Like, subscribe, share, and support me so I can continue helping us make money. And also think about things such as quotes, inspiration, things that keep us achieving. So you see this word impossible? Impossible? You know what you could do with impossible? You can take that out. You could put a space in it and put I'm possible. I'm possible instead of impossible. I'm possible, all right? Who cares about impossible? Let's just delete the I am and call it possible. Because nothing is impossible.
Possible.
That's right. There is no impossible. All right. So, looking at this, the spider, SPDR. That's like short form spider. That's what they call it, the spider. Now let's do something cool. Okay, we're going to jump back over here, then we're going to jump back over to there. Okay, so you have simulated trading set up. This is how I dive in, dive out, and we will dive deep and dive in and dive out. So you have submenus under these. You have monitor, trade, analyze, scan, market watch, charts, tools, education, help in your Think or Swim. So if you go over to one, then you go over to another, you have submenus underneath them, okay? And you also have the ability to change your options, okay? So you could change things. You could change your look. You could change certain things about it to make it function how you want it to function. And some of these aren't really all that important, but I'll show you what's important. Not all of these you don't really need. Okay, you can mess around with them if you want, but the only two I use is monitor and charts. Okay, 99% of the time. And when you click on charts, here's where you could put in a symbol. Now, if you want an option symbol, then you click in the option, and then you put in which options do you want to find, SPY. And then it will show the options, okay? And then it will pick up from where I left off, because you notice I didn't have to put it in again. It's already pre-filled because that's the last thing I put in. And with options, you have strike prices, okay? Now we can choose all. We could get every strike, or we could just do 4. We could do the nearest 4 from the ones that are in the money. So the markets are closed right now in the United States. So it's going off the last price that the SPY closed at was around 546 or 547. Okay, it's in between here. I'm not sure exactly. And the ones that are in the money, okay, so for a short, 547 was in the money, okay? And for a long, 546 was in the money. So in other words, if you chose a 546 long, okay, on this side is your longs, and okay, right there it's labeled. Okay, excuse me. Where I'm pointing, it says calls and puts. So calls are your long, meaning you think the market's going to go up, you buy a call. And for puts, if you think the market is going to go down, you buy a put. Okay, just in straight basic options trading. There are more advanced strategies, but just because they're more advanced doesn't mean that they will make you money, and maybe that you're messing around with too much, maybe I want to say black magic. I like to use the term black magic because people they might make something really complicated sound desirable. But if something is really basic and understandable, then it takes away the mysticism and you can't really trick people. So what we want to do as a trader, you notice that in my charts, I have a lot of writing on this chart, but at the same time, the only thing that we're looking at is the straight price. Look at this. There are no indicators on this chart. There are just descriptions of the pattern. And what we're basing this on is our symbol here. You have to watch the first video that I made live stream as to why we chose number 7. The lucky number 7 of Wingdings 3 is our symbol. Originally it was navy color, but I changed it to goldenrod because gold is what we're going to make. And the reason this symbol is important is because it's saying to look back in order to have a future. So we want to understand the past market in order to predict the future market. So if you watch the previous video, perhaps I'll just play some of it and we could go over. I'll play it in a live stream in a condensed form later. But if you go back and look at the previous live stream, the first live stream that I did, I show why I made these X's. These are all drawn. What all of this means, okay? And what we are doing here. We're here to trade the SPY to make money. on short-term options, using the past to predict the future. It doesn't mean that we'll be able to predict the future. And there's a beauty of trading these short-term options. If you know what you're doing, you can minimize your losses. So let's go back, and now we're going to go read some more about what we're trading. And I'm going to take a drink. Now just relax. This is demo trading. You're not in a rush to lose your money. So take your time to learn and learn what you can do and learn what you're capable of in the demo account instead of losing all your money in the live account, just winging it and playing like a blackjack-like strategy. What is a blackjack strategy? That's when you go up and you're playing blackjack and you say flip the cards. And you're just like, yeah, all in. That's a blackjack strategy. We don't want to do that. We want to plan. We want to understand. We want to deep dive. We want to clearly plot out our in and out of the trade. We want to understand why we're going in. We want to understand why we're going out. We want to understand what we are trading and why we are trading it. And we want to understand everything we can while at the same time simplifying what we're doing at the time we take an action. Because at the time we take an action, we want a minimal amount of things to think about. But before we do that, we want to have a maximum amount of knowledge. So we don't have to overthink things while things are happening fast. So when we're trading the market, we don't have to really think about these things. We just have like an understanding of why we're doing it. Taking a drink here. Probably going to have some coffee. I recommend you open up these pages and read what the S&P 500 is. Read what an exchange-traded fund is. Read what this one is, the SPY. So I showed you how to Google for it. So you Google Wikipedia SPY ETF like this. Wikipedia, but actually we're on Wikipedia, so all we have to do is go SPY ETF, just like that. And that's the one we were looking at, right there. SPY ETF. See, symbol. Your literature should say symbol SPY. You need to read this. You need to understand what you're doing. You need to read this, okay? There's no harm in over understanding this. You don't have to recite it. It's as good to understand what this is and why you are doing it, what an ETF is, whether it's the SPY or not the SPY. You want to understand what this is. Okay? We're going to be trading in a demo account until we are proficient in simulated trading before ever going live. Now, it's up to you to make that conscious decision if you ever want to trade live options. I'm never going to make that decision for you. That's up to you. Okay? That's up to you. But if you're part of this group, you're going to be doing demo trading. You're going to be understanding what the SPY is. You're going to understand what ETFs are. Okay? This is what it's all about. This is what my group is. And this is a symbol right there. Number 7. We are number 7 Wingdings. Wingdings 3. Okay? That's the font. Wingdings 3, number 7. Lucky number 7. I mean, what the heck does that even mean, right? Well, this has to do with trading the SPY to make money through short-term options. But first, we must understand how to demo trade. We must understand looking back into the past to understand the future so we can make lots of what? Bada bing, bada bing, bada bing, money. Money. Why does everyone do anything, right? Money. Money. Okay? Money. That's what it's all about. Go back. The SPDR, SPDR, S&P 500 ETF Trust, see, ETF Trust is an exchange-traded fund which trades on the NYSE, ARCA, under the symbol SPY. Oh, okay, here we are. So we have a link right here that explains what the NYSE, New York Stock Exchange, ARCA is, previously known as ARCA-X, an abbreviation of Archipelago Exchange, is an exchange on which both stocks and options are traded. It was owned by Intercontinental Exchange. It merged with the New York Stock Exchange in 2006 and now operates as a subsidiary. Okay, that's more than we need to know about that. But you can read up on that as well if you would like. It doesn't hurt to understand what you are doing. It makes it more interesting. SPDR is the acronym of the Standards and Poor's Depository Receipts. So you can read this as well. Little drop-down menu, it says the SPDR and S&P 500 ETF Trust is an exchange-traded fund which trades on the NYSE ARCA under the symbol SPY, SPY. SPDR is an acronym for the Standard & Poor's Depository Receipts, the former name of the ETF. It is designed to track the S&P 500 stock market. So there we go. That's the answer we're looking for of why the SPY. Because it is what? What did it say? Down at the bottom of that drop down, it's designed to track the S&P 500. And what are we doing on my chart? My chart is the S&P 500. I'm just tracking that to do technical analysis on doing analysis so we could trade options. And the reason is that I'm using this S&P 500 to chart and not the SPY is so we could watch it. You see, it's trading right now. We could chart it at all hours. We could chart it and see what happens in the European time session. We could see what happens in the Asian time section. We could chart our trends, and it's going to get more advanced because I already have a trading system that I wrote from scratch. So this is something that I analyzed manually just by looking at it without using my programmed indicators that I'm going to be selling to people. You can't just have them. We'll see how it goes. I will probably have them on a private group and just have a live stream of this right here showing the market. Okay? All right? But it's going to be like a membership. I can't do it for free. I cannot immense my time for free showing people advanced stuff without compensation. I need to be supported. So the more I'm supported, the more information I will release to people. I've made people money before and got cheated. And that's why I'm stuck where I'm at right now. But I'm not going to be stuck here for long. I'm going to be quite wealthy. And the higher I go up, the more people that stick with me. I'm not going to forget you. I love doing this. Okay, I just love doing this. This is fun to me. It's fun whether I make money or not. Making money is all part of it, but even before I make money, I have a sincere interest in patterns and figuring stuff out. Okay? And I just really interested in information and predicting things and stuff like that. So, let's go back to what we were reading. And now we have a little bit of an understanding as why the S&P 500 and what the ETF is. Okay, so what is the ETF again? So, to me, it's just a basket of something representing something larger. So in the case of the S&P is made up of, let's see, how many trading symbols, how many corporations are on the 500, right? 500 of the largest companies listed on the stock exchange in the United States. Okay, and you could read up as to why these companies are part of the S&P 500. So here it shows, a little bit of a description. The S&P 500 is a free float weighted capitalization weighted index. As of June 28, 2024, the 9 largest companies on the list of the S&P 500 companies accounted for 35.8% of the market capitalization of the index and were in order of highest to lowest weighting. So you have Microsoft, you have Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Meta, Alphabet, Berkshire Hathaway, Eli Lilly and Company, Broadcom. The components that have increased their dividends in 25 consecutive years are known as the S&P Dividend Aristocrats. Okay, and you can look that up if you want. I'm not going to go over that. That's beyond the scope of what we need to understand, but if you want to do that, feel free to do so. Okay, so the S&P is maintained by S&P Dow Jones Indices. It's owned by S&P Global, right? So this represents, your stock represents something that's in an index, okay? If you have a stock, it's in one type of index or another, okay? And there's a reason people invest in the S&P, okay? And we're not interested in investing in the S&P. But I will show you there are ways you can invest without actually buying stock by using long-term options, and you could cycle in and cycle out of them. Okay, that is one potential way to invest in them by using options, by using long-term, let me see, I think the term is called leap option. And let's see, use Wikipedia as a source to avoid copyright. So in finance, long-term equity leaps are derivatives. All right, they are option of contracts. maybe I'm using the wrong term. Maybe it's not leaps. Okay, but this is an important topic too as well. You may want to read this anyway. But options are originally created with expiry cycles of 3, 6, 9 months, with no option term lasting more than a year. Okay, options in this form for such terms still constitute the vast majority of options activities. Leaps created relatively recently were created relatively recently and typically extended for terms of 2 years out. Okay, that's what I meant by leap. I just meant like a really long-term option contract. But the scope of my channel is short-term options contracts. Okay, short-term. You'll have to really read up on options trading if you're going to do live trading. If you already understand, then you don't need to, like, you could refresh stuff, but if you already understand, you already understand. So you want to set up your demo account. We're doing demo trading only. Okay? Unless you want to trade live or you already trade live, that is your own personal choice already. I'm not suggesting you do that, but I trade live and I trade demo. So the only two tabs we're concerned about with Thinkorswim for this is right here. Monitor activity and positions. You could look up your past trades, profit and losses and stuff like that. Okay, things like that. So your account summary, profits and losses, what you previously traded. All right, so that's right here, account statements, and then activity and position. So when you have a live trade, you monitor it right here in your activity and positions. So right now there is no trade because we haven't traded. So we want to set up a trade. We want to get ready to trade, so we come over to charts. Okay, so we need symbols. So you need to set up options trading symbols. But if you just wanted to look at SPY and just see what the SPY is doing, then this is the actual SPY, okay? But this is not how we want to trade. So over here to the right, top right, you have a option to make more charts. So you could have like a ton of charts, okay? And that's the one we opened up for just the SPY. But we really don't want to trade that way because it's too confusing. It's too confusing. So what we want to do is just have two open at a time. Okay, one can be, you could either do like 2 options or have the SPY itself open like that. And then over here you have your options selected. Okay, and then you have your strikes. So if you're doing short term, you don't need to have too many. Those were yesterday's trades. So let's open up yesterday's trades. I have a certain setup style that I use, and it's just called default. And there it is. And my default setup is just plain setup without any junk on it. And that's how I like my chart to look. Default. So your chart needs to look like this. And then you can zoom in on it like so. What's going on here? Style, load default, default. Okay, something's wrong here. I want it zoomed in to about like that. Now let's do style, save style, default, and when you do this, you want to include patterns and study set checked right there and save. And yes, do you want to replace it? Yes. Let's see what happens when I do that. Huh. It's supposed to be zoomed in like that. Okay, I think I have my live chart set up better, but I guess it has it zoomed out like that, so no matter what. Okay, this looks better like this. This is how it's supposed to look. So down here you could scroll to the right. I don't know why it's not keeping up with the current market. But we need to get to the front. So here's the scroll, the bottom scroll of the chart. We need to scroll over and to get to the current time. Okay, now, right now I see something right there that just stands out. Do you see that? That's a doji. Okay, that's a doji. When you see a doji like that at the top of a pattern, you want to think short. You just don't want to do it though. But I mean, possibly you want to set your stop or have a better trading plan than just that. You want to have an in and an out. But if I saw that right now and opened a chart, I was like, oh, holy smokes, that's a doji. And if I was like right here trading, I'd want to short it. Okay, so let's hypothetically say that I could short it right now, even though U.S. market is closed because it's 4 a.m. But we have overnight trading going on. And the current price is, when we see the doji, is it's about 47. So if we come over here and we want to select a short, we want to select a put. We don't want to go too far out of the money. It'd be like a maximum of, one of these. But this row right here is from September 9th, 24, and you see it says -1. Well, that means yesterday. So we could see that today we are on Tuesday, September 24th, 2024. And my clock right here down at the bottom of the screen, it in fact says that it is 4:15 a.m., which means the options for today are not live. Okay, there's no options trading, and since yesterday is the 9th, it says -1. So that means it's old data. We can put that back up there. You could see the -1 right there. Okay, and right here's today's. It says 0. There are 0 days left, but it doesn't say -1. We still have 1 day left technically, even though it says 0. So we want to select an option that is 47 of a strike put 47, or we could go out of the money to 46. Okay, so if you notice the grayed areas right here, those represent in the money, even though the market is closed. When it closed, let's change this. Okay, you see how the background is grayed out right here? That means after hours trading. All right, so I have my chart set up to show after hours trading. You have to set that up so your chart shows after hours trading. And the way you do that is you go right here, chart settings, general. All right, this is my setup. All right, you're going to come over to you have a price axis, let's see if everything's correct. I'm probably going to change this, but time interval 5 days, 5 minutes. Expansion area says 1. I have it set to 1, so there's at least one expansion area to the right of the chart, okay, so that you know that you're on the current candle. So if you don't see like a gray area right there, and you're looking at a previous time. So you want to see one gray area there, how we have our chart set up so we're seeing live data. So that is achieved by having a time access of at least 1. And the reason I only use 1 is because I want to focus. I want to have as much real estate. I want to have as much real estate on the chart on my screen because I'm using a laptop and I want to utilize the screen. Okay, I want to be able to walk around with my laptop and trade from anywhere in my living area. So go back to settings. Okay, we were looking at time access and expansion area should be 1. Bars says bars to the right, 1. Okay, you could choose more, but I do not recommend it. So let's try 10. What happens? You have this big gapping space, and I just personally don't like that. I want to focus and think hard and make sure I'm in right on it. It's just like how I think and how you should be thinking. Set this to 1 and apply. There we go. Okay, we see a new candle has just formed right now. Okay. Now, if we choose a stock put that is in the money, it will have to be the ones right here that are grayed out. Okay? And we have this is the strike price, 547, 548, and it's a put. Okay, so the more this goes down, the more these will go up. So let's choose this one. So you can see that the price of this was once a high of 825. Okay, and look at this back here. You could have got it for 86. So the price means, so you have a low 0.86. That means $86 in cash. And this means $825 in cash. So you could have actually bought this for $86 at one time. All right. And sold it for $825 with a over an 8x gain, okay, on however many contracts you bought would be your gain. 8x. But the chances of getting the exact low and the exact high are next to impossible. But that is the potential there. Okay? It's impossible. It is possible because everything is possible. But let's just try to stick with a trading plan that works. Okay? We're not trying to fail by being perfect, because that's just, the expectations are too high. So let's zoom in. And also I want to explain that, okay, so the grayed out areas right here, all right, that's representing each day. So we have, looking back that low, whoops. Okay, we don't have much data there. It doesn't let us go any farther back than there. But if we hover over that price, if we hover over that right there at the top, it will give you all the statistics of where you hover over. So if I hover over there at the 86, you could see at the top of the screen, I can't move my mouse over there because I got to hover over that spot. But if you look up at the top, it says the date is 9/3/24 at 9:30 a.m. Okay. So that's going to be at the open of the market. So it opened at a low of $86 or 0.86 in options contract price, because each options contract represents 100 shares. So whatever it says on the chart is times 100. Okay. So that happened at 9/3/24 at 9:30 a.m. Okay. You could see the volume. There were 17 shares traded, at least on this platform. Now, if you hover over and you go over to here at 9/6/24, it was worth, it opened at 8.03 and had a high of 8.25, and it had a low of 8.03. So what that's saying is that every one of those contracts traded within that 5-minute candle at that time traded for over $800. Okay? But look what happened. After this day ended, it closed at somewhere above $750. But on the following day, it gapped down, and it gapped down to opened at about 4. Okay? So it basically halved in price overnight. So one of the reasons is because time is running out, and the other is probably because of this. Okay? It going up. Let's look. This is actually after hours. Excuse me. I'm not sure. I'm going to change the time frame to hourly. And we're going to have to zoom in. See, there's not much data in the US session and the hourly time frame. So the dark session is the open active trading hours in the US stock market. So what happened was, when this is a put, okay? This is a put. When this opened yesterday, it opened higher than previously, okay? See, it opened up here at about, it opened about 544-ish, okay? And then when it closed where? It closed at below 539. So you could see that this 547 put was worth more because the price was lower, and then after hours this thing went up and it opened higher. And that's the whole concept of the options. Also, time has something to do with it, because the time of the contracts have different dates of expiration. So this contract is expiring today it will expire at the end of today's trading day, which has not happened. So when this opens, the price will either stay the same, go higher, or go lower. It will have to go below here for this price to go back up above $800. Right now, that's not looking likely. Okay? So sorry to bore you with all the basic boring stuff, but this is this is the stuff you really have to understand thoroughly. So, okay, I'm going to zoom in. We saw it gap down. Okay. Now this chart is 5-minute time frame, and this chart is hourly. I'm going to change this chart to 15 minutes. Down at the bottom, these are volume bars. Okay, same setup over here. Let's go back and look at our setup. Make sure everything is set up. So the important thing to look at is your expansion area. Okay, your appearance. This is how I have my appearance set up, and it's just the colors. Let's see if I can find anything important that will matter. I just have it really set up basically, and I removed everything that the other chart had, that when I opened it up, it had all kinds of junk on it. I removed all that stuff and just have volume and the chart, okay, and set up, made my charts glow a little more by changing the outer color of the candles to being bright. Okay, red for down, green for up, and light red on the outside of the candle and light green on the outside of the candle for the bull candles. Volume for equities, volume for options, so it's volume, subgraph, those are checked. Not real complicated. I just have a very basic setup with everything eliminated. All right, your time zone. Okay, looking good. So you want your chart to look like that. You just want the volume, and the candles. So for options, I like to look at, for short-term trading, I want to look at the 5-minute. Sometimes I'll look at the 1 minute. So you do that by changing this right here, and you got to zoom back in. It doesn't keep the focus. Let's see if I could fix that to make it so the focus is always set to that level. But it's supposed to look like that. So gray is after hours trading. All right. Gray either represents after hours trading or before market trading. So black right here, the black background, that is the live market. So you can see trading went on after the market closed, but this one went down. Let's see what a 547, the opposite side, the call did, and zoom in and look at the after hours there. So the after hours, so the candle closed right there at 165, and then it in after hours it went up to 172. So not much more, but it went up a little bit. And you can see there's some buying in the last this is 1 minute time frame. There was some buying, in the heavy buying in the last minute. It shows that 600 contracts, by hovering over this candle, I could look up at the top, and looking up here at volume, hover over this right there. You could see that 618 contracts, which is also depicted by this volume down here, were traded right there. All right, 600 over 600 options contracts in that 1 minute of time. I'm going to switch over to 5 minute, and zoom back in. Whoops. We're going to go back to put. We're looking at a put. So we're going to hold the put. All right. Zoom in, and there you go. So on the screen, we have it zoomed in, so it's this visible. I don't know how to describe the level of zoom, but it should look something like this, where you can see the volume and the candles clearly, and have a split screen, so you could look at the actual SPY and an options contract that you are analyzing to set up a trade. And over here, this was the Essence SPY. If you watch the original video, the starter video, the starter live stream, this is the S&P 500 1-hour chart, and I went through this starting with a blank chart. I went and I made this entire chart on live stream and showed how I did it. Okay? Why does this say indigo? Why does this say blue zone? Okay, so currently the market is trading, okay, but it's not trading in the U.S. yet because the U.S. hasn't opened. So we see that the market has been going down from this area of resistance. This is the S&P 500. Okay, I'm using a indicator that shows this label that I coded to show stuff that we're looking at. So, all right, S&P 500 1-hour chart. We are looking at an IFC market demo trading account. I recommend that you get a MetaTrader demo account to practice on. IFC Markets is the best, in my opinion. You may use others. You just need to find one that when you go over here, you sign up for a demo, and then you click View Market Watch or Control M. Okay, View Market Watch, Control M. You're going to right click, and when you do this, you do Show All. You should be able to find in here somewhere. Mine are listed at the top, what I use, because I had those ones open last. You want to find ETF SPY, either by looking through the list. Mine just happens to be at the top because those are the ones I was using last. And you will find it somewhere of these symbols. And another way you could do it, you have to show all. You have to select show all to find what you're looking for. And then you can also do this after you select show all. You do File, New Chart, and then it will be ETF SPY. That's how you find the SPY in IFC markets. And other MetaTrader brokers probably have it as well. Okay? And then for the S&P, you will find the S&P under indices right there. So under indices, you're going to open an S&P 500 like this. You go Let's do it again. I'm going to hide all. You got to get a demo account set up, and it doesn't matter which broker you're using. You have to find one that has SPY and S&P 500. And to find them, you just have to sign up for them. I use IFC Markets because I know it has them. And you're going to go Market Watch. Okay, and if you don't do this, you might not see the S&P 500 or SPY or stuff such as the VIX. You want to go, you want to right click here after selecting Market Watch. Right click, and you're going to select Show All. And once you do that, then you could select New Chart. Then indices and S&P 500. You could also open the VIX. We use the VIX, US VIX, S&P 500. Don't overcomplicate it. Just do these two of this group in indices. And then the ETF, you want the SPY. And then after you have them open, then you're going to hide all. And why do you hide all? Because you don't want to waste, you don't want data coming into your computer and bogging it down. And all right, so now look, now that I've selected hide all, okay, hide all, there's not very many symbols here. So watch what happens when I choose New Chart after hide all. Look, there's only these ones available. That's it. That's why you have to select Show All, because you might not see what you need to find that we're going to trade with. But if you just leave them all open, when you have Show All, look at that. Those things are sending information to your computer. You have every one of those currency pairs. You have all this stuff sending in data. Okay? And we don't want that. We just want to stick to what we're focusing on. And it's pretty cool. So you can trade, you could chart crypto. So there's Bitcoin, there's Ethereum, and some other ones. All right. So let's, we could open, we'll leave Ethereum open just for fun. Because I like to chart Ethereum. Right off when I look at Ethereum, do you notice something? I see it right there. There's a pattern right there. Dink, dink, dink. All right? That, and that is a pattern which signified the top and the fall. This could potentially be a bottom right here. You see it going up. You see a sharp correction. Okay? All right? I'm not going to chart every little detail of this right now. I already did that for the S&P. That's what we're concentrating on. Okay? We're concentrating on the SPY. Okay? If you want me to do that one or something else, you're going to have to buy me a lot of coffees. And I'll do it. And we'll go over it. We'll go over it. I'll give you my insights. I used to have a very good trading record that got erased. I got scammed. Made other people money. I had one of the highest return on investments. ROI, return on investments. I was a big hitter, right? I was a big hitter. I was trading on demo accounts, but I had followers. I made those followers money but they never paid me as promised. I was a ranked trader. Then they deleted my account. And they said, oh, you can't use that broker. And I started over again. And I got back up to the top ranks, and then they deleted the other broker. They said, oh, you can't use that broker either. And then I found out that they were just scamming me. I found out they didn't want me to be top dog. That was what that was about. And they also didn't want to pay me for making other people money. I'm not going to mention who the group is. I don't want to go there. They're out of Cyprus, though, so I didn't have any legal recourse. All right. I'm not sure what I just did right now, but I moved this line from somewhere. What did I do? I don't know what I did right here, but I'm just going to delete this line. It was probably something important, right? Oh well. So it is 9/10/2024 at 4:45 a.m. I'll probably fall asleep waiting for the market to open. 15-minute SPY right there. I'm going to change this over to 30 minutes. Just for now, I'll probably change it back. So here's what happened on 9/6. You have the market open right there. And you have this tall tail right there in a 30-minute time frame develop. It goes up, and then it, boom, turns into this. And it just takes out that previous up candle. It just takes it out. in 2 moves. Okay, so within 60 minutes after open, this is a new low from here. You could see in the pre-market what happened before the open. It went up and it looked like, oh yeah. So just think about that. And you looking at this on the screen and saying, back here, you're like, oh man, I better buy and get in before it's too late. The people that do that shot the market up, and then look what happened. That was it. That was it. Bang. It goes down. It continues to go down. Look at that. Look at that. So no, it is going down. It is not going up. People are like, dang, man, I just lost all kinds of money. All right. That's why you don't want to trade fast. You don't want to think fast and think you got to do something fast. So that was on 9.6. Let's see if we could go back to 9.6. So the price was $5.50. It went up. It opened. The open on 9.6 was 549.94, which is basically 5.50. We have this put contract open at it expires today. I want to change this to the 30-minute time frame and see what happened back then. So we're looking for the date of 9/6 on the open. Here it is. Okay, the gray is aftermarket, and it opened, I'm looking at the top after hovering over that 30-minute candle on this P47 contract. So a P47 contract is out of the money at the time of the trade, okay, because this has to be below here, below where I'm pointing, 547, because this options contract right there, you see it says P547. Okay, it's this contract right here. We're looking back in time. Okay, we're looking at this period of time at 9/6 at 9:30 a.m. This contract opens at the cost of this 547 put with the expiration date of today on September 24th. But we're looking back in time at this open right here. It says 9/6/2024 at 9:30 a.m. And then over here on the SPY, the ETF SPY, the open on the SPY was right there at 549.94. So this contract at this time is out of the money. And the cost of the contract on 9/6, which expires on today, 9/10, because we're looking back in time, at 9/6, 9:30 a.m., the contract cost right here at the open, $232. In options pricing, it's 2.32. That's times 100, so it's $232. We're going to always use real money instead of options pricing what it says. Okay, so it went up to over $800. That was the profit potential because this went down below 547 and in the money on 5/6, and it still had several days left. That's why it was worth so much money. But then we move forward to the next day. You see the grayed out area is the aftermarket trading, and you see that it closed back here, right there, deep in the money below 539, okay, and the contract is 547. But when it opened at 544, 544.65. Okay, that's a dramatic difference from where it closed down here. Okay, below 539. So it opened up, several. Let's see. Excuse me, this is the close right here. This was after hours. Okay, it closed at 541.33. Okay. And it opened at 544.65. So it went up 3.32. It went up over 3 points. So that's why on the next day it opened down here instead of where it had closed up here at nearly $800. But then on the next day on 9/9, okay, went from 9/6 to 9/9 because of the weekend. Okay, there was a weekend, so went from 9/6 to 9/9. All right, so the price of the SPY ETF went up while this put contract, because it goes the opposite way for puts. So if the market goes up, the price of the put goes down. So it opened 3.32 points difference on the underlying SPY. Okay, so the option for that strike of 547 became worth less money. Okay, it was still in the money when it opened. When it opened at 544.65. 544.65 on 9/9 on Monday, on this Monday 9/9, September 9th. So that's why this thing just tanked in price. The options contract tanked in price, and it went further down because of the SPY going up in price. So that's a concept you have to get for options trading, that the put contracts are going to do the opposite of the market. Okay, and the further out of the money they are, the harder it is for them to get in the money. So the current price is in after hours 546.2, and this contract is a put 547, so it's actually still in the money, but it's becoming worth less because the contract is about to expire, and the chances of it going more into money reduce as time erodes. Okay? I believe that's called intrinsic value. Let's see what intrinsic value means. Okay, so here we have an option-specific definition for intrinsic value. That is worth a read. Take a short break here and probably read that. Okay, I'll be back. I'm taking a break. I'll be right back. I'm going to take a break and then we will get back into our discussion where I left off. We're going to be watching the market. Okay. Oh, stuck on this screen. What's going on here? What the heck? Okay, so it's 5:22 a.m. and the SPY has gone lower in the last 30 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream and come back later. Be sure to review the concepts and we'll get back into it.